Here we go. You are live. Yes, I am. Hello, 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 YouTube. I'm John Avenger. I'm doing a live stream tonight of my best, worst, and honorable mentions of 2019. Yeah. If you missed the intro, I said hello, guys. What's up? I'm doing a live stream on StreamYard, the nice ducky with the headphones on. This is going to be my long-awaited video of the best movies I saw in 2019, the worst films I saw, which is very short, and honorable mentions, films I liked but didn't love, because some of them were not in theaters and some were good, but they could have been better. Now, before we get to the good stuff, well, we're going to get to the worst first, and the dishonorable mentions. Guess what? There will be a few films that will not be on this list. I did not see The Irishman yet, so don't ask. That's not here. Episode 9, I refuse to put that on the list because if I saw it, it would be my worst list, and I don't want to go through that in the comment section. Yeah, I'm also going to be doing. There will also be other movies I missed this year. I didn't see Men in Black International. I skipped all the Disney remakes. I didn't bother watching any of them. I don't have any of the, like, horror films because I normally avoid horror films, and I didn't see anything. The only animated movie I saw was You Know What I Saw. So that's basically what you won't see on this list, any of the lists. But let's get to it because we have a lot to talk about here. The chat's open. I'm going to just leave a comment here and say, what's up? And if people want to see this video, you can watch it on YouTube when it's posted. So you can get my thoughts on my favorite movies of the year and my least favorite films of the year. Let's start with a few dishonorable mentions. I have one dishonorable mention, a special dishonorable mention, because the film came out this year on Blu-ray and DVD, and that was Venom. Yes, it's a film from last year, but it came out on Blu-ray this year, I think in like January or February. It's one of the worst Marvel movies I've seen in this decade. It's awful. It's badly written. It has horrible CGI. The film nauseated me. I didn't laugh once, except for when Tom Hardy screamed like a bitch. I didn't care for the any more water. I didn't care for the freaking love story. I didn't care about the villain. I just didn't care. Hold on. I'll be right back. Looks like I'm going to have to just drink this water because I can't find the other water that I had. But anyway, yeah, Venom. If you have not seen Venom, you can skip it. Just see Spider-Man Homecoming or Spider-Man Far From Home or any of his appearance in the MCU. They're much better than this freaking movie. Anyway, yeah, Venom is a special dishonorable mention since it wasn't in theaters this year. It was mostly in theaters last year, but it came out on Blu-ray, so that is there. Now, the next dishonorable mention, there's only two because I don't want to be here for 3 hours, is Stuber. I walked out of this movie, so I couldn't put it on the worst list because it was just so dumb. Camille Nanjiani tried, but he just didn't have good material to work with. Every other joke is something that I've seen in 90s films and 2000 comedies. They say the F word a lot. There's not enough. The action is so badly. The shaky cam is shaking like this when they're doing the stupid action sequences. Carrie Gilliam's in the movie and dies in the first 5 minutes. Spoiler. And then Batista was the only thing that kept me awake in this movie. And the whole film, like a third of the film, he can't see because he does laser eye surgery and he's supposed to wear goggles. And his vision's impaired, and then he goes on a stuber, and he's like, take me there, and them crashing into cars and everything. The best jokes were in the trailer, and there were barely any jokes to begin with. But this movie was lazy. It's a boring movie. The villain, I don't even remember who it was, and the actors deserve better than this. This was just a lazy attempt to try to be a dumb comedy for the summer, and it just failed. And there's a reason it was forgotten. because it's a waste of talent and not funny and just lame. And I walked out of the theater after 45 minutes. I saw the scenes of the male strippers, and then I walked out. I was like, "That's it. I can't take it anymore." So yeah, Stuber was a thumbs down for me. I hated it. It was just like not the worst movie of the year, but definitely a dishonorable mention because it wasn't good. Okay, now here come the two worst that I saw. I only saw two because I refuse to give my money to any more bad movies this year. I saw so many in this decade. One of them is The Intruder, the 2019 movie with Michael Ealy and Megan Good. This was awful. If you want to see a terrible thriller with an obvious killer and Dennis Quaid acting like a nut, this is the movie for you. If not, avoid this film at all freaking costs. Everything in this movie is done wrong. There's no tension. It's not fun to watch. The actors the characters are stupid. They don't call the police on this dumbass. The film it's boring at times. They show they're up in the mountains where there's a house, and Dennis Quaid can't take a hint that he's like, "Get out of my property." And I'm like, he's like, "No, wait a minute, it's my house. It used to be my house." And I'm like, once you give your house to someone else, it's theirs, not yours. Move on. This movie was so stupid, I didn't even do a rant on it because it's awful. It's one of the worst films of this year, easily. When all I remember is a kind of a sex scene with Megan Good and Megan Neely and Megan Good's big ass. That's all I remember in the movie. And I'm not even the biggest fan of hers. If you saw my Shazam review, you know why. But this was a waste of talent. Everybody in this movie just was sleepwalking. It was just a train wreck of a film. And as bad as this was, it was nothing compared to the worst film I saw this year, which was it came out earlier this year. It was a PG-13 horror movie with such wasted potential. That's why this is the worst freaking movie I saw this year, Escape Room. I said there wouldn't be any horror movies. I didn't lie. I just said I avoided It Chapter 2 and freaking like Corona, whatever that was called, and the remake of Child's Play. I didn't bother, or Crawl, and you know why? Because I'm like, they're all the same. They're either jump scares, bad CGI, bad foreign actors, or they're boring. This wasn't boring. It was just that it's a wasted potential. A bunch of strangers are in a room and they have to escape or they'll die. It's an interesting premise, but good God, do they drop the ball. This movie is so badly written. The actors, they're trying, but they're a bunch of no-name actors you've never seen before, mostly. I've seen the main girl. I thought she was decent. And I've seen, excuse me. I've seen one of the other actors in there as well, but the film just didn't work. You have all these people watching this freaking movie, and because it's a PG-13 horror movie. It's almost bloodless. It's not really that violent, and they had some interesting ideas, but they just dropped the ball. And then the second half of the movie becomes another movie. Like the guy manipulating the whole escape room is some asshole from the UK, and I'm like, again, guys, I'm tired of those people. They're in everything, and they don't need to be in everything. Here, you have these terrible freaking characters bickering with each other, bitching about everything, and when they die, it's so uneventful. Like, not all of them die, but some of them die, and it's just stupid. It's like a bad cartoon. If you haven't seen Escape Room, avoid it. Go to an actual escape room and do it yourselves. It's a lot more fun than this freaking movie. You would have way more fun doing that than watching the 90 minutes you'll never get back. And it looks good, like the film is well shot, but it's just so dull. And it's so typical, and there's just they make the stupidest decisions in this movie. And like I said, the lead girl, that's a black Canadian girl, she's cute, but it could have been better. It could have been a lot freaking better, and it just pissed me off. But Escape Room is just it's the worst because of the wasted potential. It was an opportunity to make a decent Escape Room movie, and the sequel's coming out. Yeah, when your movie has a sequel bait ending and it sucks, I don't want to see the sequel. I mean, I'd rather see Happy Death Day to You, because at least the first one was good. It was good for what it was. Blumhouse did a good job with the lead actress, really makes it work. Here, there's nothing to work with. It's just a good premise, wasted on a shitty script and bad direction, and just, a lot of just pain. But I just didn't care for it. Like, if you want to see it, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen in my life, but for the last horror movie I saw for 2019, theatrically released, that was not like, some crap, because the Intruder's more of a bad thriller. This is a bad horror movie. It's bad. It's not even so bad it's good. It's just typical. But hey, at least they got the bad stuff out of the way. That was my worst. It didn't like, oh my God, I want to throw things on the wall. I'm like, no, because I wanted to take it easy this year. I had a very hard year, guys. I've had a lot of family issues and health problems and ish. Did not. I'm not dying. Don't worry. But my weight and I've been through a lot of stuff. So, but anyway, we got rid of the worst of the year and the dishonorable mention. So I know you were probably expecting Dark Phoenix or Dark Fate or Terminator Dark Fate or Woke Angels. I refuse to watch them. I'm not wasting another minute of my time. There's a new decade on the horizon, and I have a lot of stuff to do with the Nerd Pack, and I want to do it the best I can. I want to make it without having a stroke. So those are the worst films I saw this year. Not a lot, but I got through it. So there's that. Okay, next is my honorable mentions, the movies I liked this year, the films that were not great, not the greatest, but I did like them for what they were. I need to get a pen. I should have stuff around here. Here's a pen. Oops. Whatever. That box set is messed up anyway. Next is the honorable mentions. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll start at the bottom and work our way to the top. The first one is Booksmart. Yes, I bet my friend Josh is going to be like, why isn't this in your best of the year? I had my problems with this movie, but I'll get to that. The things that worked. Caitlin Dever is gorgeous. I love her in the movie. I think she's amazing. She really is the breakout star of this movie. I also like the Jonah Hill's sister as the lead fat girl that is basically a bookworm. But I did like their chemistry on screen. Olivia Wilde's directing for her first time. She did a good job. And there were moments that made me chuckle. So at least the film that wasn't unfunny. I just didn't care for the cliche plot. Kind of, there was some moments that took me out of it. Some of the dialogue was painful. They have to curse just because it's an R rating, and there's gay people, and Ryan, Caitlin Dever's character has to be a lesbian. I'm like, I wasn't for that. I'm sorry. Progressive doesn't mean you have to be a homosexual. You can do something different. You can do a story that's not a cliche. It's good, but I thought the critics were jerking it off too much. I thought the only reason to watch it is for Caitlin Dever. That beautiful nose of hers, just I get lost in it. And the other lead girl, they're the ones that made the movie work. We don't need a sequel, just leave it at one. So it was an honorable mention for me. I didn't think it was, oh my God, this is the funniest movie of the year. No, it's not. It's a good movie it was a decent film that kind of the critics were up their own ass about. But that's just my opinion on that. Okay, next is a documentary from this year from the late great Patrick Swayze. I Am Patrick Swayze. This was amazing because this was a good documentary. You had them talking about Patrick Swayze's life and how he was a dancer and how he broke into the business and he didn't want to be typecasted, and he lived on a ranch, and he had a lot of problems with drinking and smoking and whatever. And then when he died of cancer, it sucked, man. It really did. But he left us a legacy of great films. He really went for it. He was a very entertaining man from the South. There's a lot of films that he did that I really enjoy. I did like Dirty Dancing, even though it's not really targeted for me. I liked Roadhouse. His voice in The Fox and the Hound 2 was okay. He's definitely missed. I haven't seen Ghost because it's hard to watch because he passed away, but I've heard it's good, and it was a good documentary, very in-depth. People really spoke highly on him, and he was, he definitely missed. And I wouldn't have it any other way. This was definitely worth my time. Next is a Hallmark movie, the only one on the list. It's called Witness to Murder, a Darrow Mystery. This is starring Tom Cavanaugh from the Flash TV series, Snow, Yogi Bear. He's done a lot of stuff. This was good. Intricate plot, good characters, a fun mystery movie with a lot of witty dialogue. Him and the lead girl have a lot of chemistry together. I think it's Kimberly Paisley. Yeah, they have great chemistry together. I was invested in the plot. I thought it was short, so it didn't really waste my time. And I like a good mystery film. So that was on the list. If you haven't seen that one, it's called Witness to Murder, a Darrow mystery. It's worth a watch as an honorable mention. Next is a Nickelodeon movie that came out earlier this year that I liked. It's no masterpiece, but that's why it's an honorable mention. God, I got chest pains. Take some. Let me take some of this. I need to take an antacid. Don't worry, I'm not doing drugs. I'm doing it on camera. I got to kill time anyway. I've only been talking for 15 minutes. Plus, it's not illegal drugs. It's aspirin. I mixed aspirin and some antacids. Not together. I didn't mix them together. Just put them separate. Soothing. Okay, where were we? Next is Bixler Hyde, Private Eye. Jace Norman definitely surprised me. I hated this actor for a while, and then I saw Blurred, and I'm like, wow, he actually can have a sense of humor and be funny if you give him the decent script. He was good in the film. The lead girl was good in the film. I like the mystery, the intrigue. For a Nickelodeon movie, it wasn't that bad. It was very funny. There was a lot of good character moments. There was nothing forced in it. There was a lot of things for kids. There's some stupid jokes here and there. That's why it's not in my best. But for what it wasn't that bad. And I could have definitely seen a sequel to this because I liked Swindle was my favorite Nickelodeon live action movie. And this one was actually not so bad. So if you've never seen this one, I would definitely recommend it as well. It's called Bixler High Private Eye. Definitely fun and definitely worth a mention. Next is Kim Possible. Yes, I was one of the few people that did not hate the 2019 Kim Possible movie on the Disney Channel. I know it bombed. They made mistakes in some of the designs of the characters, but I had fun watching it. Hey, Josh, Keanu Reeves or Tom Cruise? Cruise, because Mission Impossible I like more than the Matrix films, and I do like John Wick. That's going to be on the list. John Wick Chapter 3 is on my top 10 best because I have to put it there. It was badass. But anyway, Kim Possible 2019 was fun. I felt like it was a live action version of the cartoon. The girl that played Kim was decent. I liked her, Sadie Stanley, I think. Chandra Brone from the Goldbergs. He was a spot on Ron Stoppable. The girl that plays Shigo was good. It had some decent action. I love the theme. I like the costumes. I like the fast pace. So it wasn't horrible. Yes, the guy that played Draken could have been better. Yes, it could have had more characters from the show. Yes, it could have been funnier. Yes, it could have been. It didn't need to rush it, but for what we got, it was not the worst thing ever. And considering the last Disney Channel movie I saw was the freaking Zombies movie from 2018, which I hated because I'm like, two good leads. The rest of the movie was forgettable. And Diet Soda, the Diet Soda Disney that we have now. But this if you have Disney Plus and you want to watch this, your kids could watch it. It's harmless. There's no gore in it. It's not an insult to the cartoon. This isn't Airbender where people were like, "This is the worst thing I've ever seen." No, it's a fun time. I had fun watching it, and I wanted to mention it. I know some people were not a fan of it, but I thought it was a decent movie. It wasn't horrible. I liked the CGI Rufus, the naked mole rat. It was fine, and it's something I would watch again. It's not horrible. Trust me, I know what a horrible adaptation is of a cartoon. I've seen plenty of them, live action and animated. So like freaking Astro Boy was terrible. Rocky and Bullwinkle was terrible. The Flintstones prequel was terrible. Those are god awful. Those are absolute trash. And the last film on my honorable mentions is a awesome DC movie that I saw yesterday on Black Friday. It's called Batman versus not Superman. Batman versus the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This was freaking awesome. If you've seen the animated DC movies, Dark Knight Returns, the Justice League films, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and the Flash and everything. Yeah, this was one of the good ones. Really good. I like that how they brought Batman and the Ninja Turtles to Gotham together. The action is freaking badass. I love that they put Shredder and the Joker and Ra's al Ghul and a bunch of other references to DC characters. The voice acting is really good. The animation is stunning. There were problems. Some of the characters are underused. Like Alfred doesn't have much to do in it except, be kind of like a comic relief every now and then. The Turtles were a lot of fun to watch. It was good to see well-designed, versions of these characters after Michael Bay butchered them in those two live action abortions in 2014 and 2016. It's good that DC still knows how to do good animated movies. This was one of their better ones that was not, a Justice League film. And it wasn't in theaters. It should have been. I would have rather seen this than the Lego sequel, the Lego second part. Because, again, guys, no one cared and it bombed. This was really good. It was a good movie. And it's my best honorable mention of the year because it was better than the Kim Possible movie, obviously, because, the Turtles and Batman is something I grew up with when I was a kid. I watched them a lot. There was a lot of, movies that I really enjoyed. Both of those franchises, I had the toys. I used to have the T-shirts. Yeah, they were a big part of my life. So this was a nice slice of nostalgia that didn't feel forced down my throat like some other franchises. Yeah, but you know what I mean. Anyway, those are the honorable mentions. I hope you enjoyed them. Now we get to the top 10. I'm going to try to stretch this out a little bit because only 6 people are watching Joshua the movie and the anime guy. I don't know if that's the other Josh because I know 2 Joshes. But anyway, thanks for watching anyway. Now we're going to get to the best movies I saw this year. There's going to be some controversy in this list. My list, this is not IMDb's. This is not Rotten Tomatoes. This is not freaking Film Forums or on Facebook or any magazine. This is my personal list of the films that I saw this year that I thought were some of the best. They made me feel emotion. I laughed a lot. I had a lot of, reaction to it. And they were the most intriguing films that I saw this year. Number 10, we're already starting the controversy as it is. Number 10 is a 2019 monster movie that I saw in the theater, and there was a lot of good in it. It had flaws, but it wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen. And unlike the movies that came out before it and some of the films in the original franchise, it's not the worst. Number 10 is Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Fight me on it, guys. I thought the monsters were freaking awesome in this movie. The fights were pretty cool. The effects were great. It had more action than the first one. Yes, there's a lot of monster fights in the freaking rain and in the dark. And the monsters are huge. And there's a lot of human characters. But compared to the 2014 movie, I did enjoy this one a lot more in the theater. The monsters, the freaking score was great. I love the nod to Haruo Nakajima at the end of the film in the post credits. I am pissed off that Kong versus Godzilla is getting delayed next year because we really needed that movie to come out in March. Coming out in November, a year from now, it kind of weakens the movie's release for me. But this was a nice step in the right direction. Just have Kong and Godzilla fight in the sun in the daytime. Don't let them fight in a storm or snow or in the freaking rain or, behind a building. Just show the monster action more. Kong Skull Island was great. And this movie I love because I'm biased. I'm a Godzilla fan. I wanted to see this. I know some people hated the 2014 movie because it wasn't enough Godzilla. This one had plenty. I like some of the new characters. I thought Kyle Chandler was okay. Millie Bobby Brown sucked. I don't want to see her again after the next one. But there was a lot that I really enjoyed in this. And, 10 it's just number 10, so it wasn't in my top 5. But I don't think Godzilla King of the Monsters was that bad. I've seen way freaking worse. I saw Critters Attack, and that would have been on the list, but consider that another dishonorable mention because I didn't like that either. But that was awful. That was just a movie that I was easily forgettable, and it's just it had some decent effects, but this one I thought was better. At least this one kept me awake, and it wasn't as stupid. But anyway, that's my opinion. Anyway, next is number 9. This is based on a long-running anime. Let me lie down for a second. Okay. Yeah, I just got a spasm. It's just, I ate a lot today. So anyway, number 9 is Dragon Ball Z Super Brawly the movie. This was freaking awesome. I'm not a big fan of the Dragon Ball franchise. I get why people are. It's badass. The fight scenes are amazing in this movie. The yelling and the dubbing was pretty good. The animation is stunning. That's why Dragon Ball has to be animated, not live action like that god-awful movie from 2009. I like this plot about that there's another super, Saiyan like Goku that he can fight that gives him a run for his money. The blue hair was pretty cool. Them going Super Saiyan and the fight scenes are really long and you can see what's going on. I could see why this was a huge hit in both Japan and in the US. I saw this on cable a couple of months ago, and I was like, wow, they made a good Dragon Ball Z movie 10 years after that horrible live action movie. And it was in theaters, but at a limited release. And I'm like, yeah, I can see why. It was a great freaking movie. And the fighting and the plot. And yeah, there's a lot of things I don't know about the series. So some of the characters I was like, yeah, I didn't really recognize them. I recognized Goku and Vegeta and Brawly. I recently found out about, but it was still pretty awesome. And for a Dragon Ball movie in 2019 to not suck and to be this awesome, I had to put it on my list. Low, but it's still on the list because it entertained me a lot. And it wasn't 2.5 hours. So you can make an epic action movie without making it feel too long. And you have actors that can actually act. Unlike the people that couldn't act their way out of a box, some of them in the Dragon Ball Evolution movie, which I've heard that was not that great anyway. It's awful. It's like an insult to the fans of the cartoon and the manga. But this was really good, though. And if you haven't seen it, what are you waiting for? If you're not a fan of anime, then this probably won't be for you because there's a lot of yelling, a lot of screaming, a lot of punching, a lot of kicking, a lot of blasting. But it's my kind of a movie. And as an adult, it's worth watching. It's even better now than when the original cartoon came out when I was a kid. But anyway, that's Dragon Ball Z Super Brawly, the movie. Pretty badass. Next is this is another controversial pick. It's a live action, not Disney remake, but a Disney tribute for its 30th anniversary. And it counts because it was aired on TV just a few weeks ago. Number 8 is The Little Mermaid Live. I love the original 1989 film with a burning passion. It's my favorite Disney animated film. I love the live action. I love them showing clips from the movie, a bridge, not the whole film. And they show the actors singing the songs, but some of them are different. And the actors they chose were great. The voice of Moana did a great job as Ariel. John Stamos stole the freaking show with his portrayal of Chef Louis. I liked Shaggy as Sebastian. Queen Latifah owned it as Ursula. The visuals were beautiful and colorful, and they looked just like in the animated movie without it being horrible CGI. The wire work for Ariel when she was like swimming, it looks great. It's live theater, so it's right in front of your face. And the guy that played Eric can sing. Grace Phipps. Is his name Grace Phipps or I forgot his name, but the kid that played Danny, that played freaking Ben 10 in one of the movies, he can sing. The voice of Eric. He's a good. So I think it's Graham Phillips, something like that. Yeah, it's a good singer. Really handsome guy. Really good chemistry with the voice of Moana, and it was a really feel good movie after seeing so many bad Disney remakes and their trailers. And it made me feel happy inside. I clapped at the end of almost every song. Kiss the Girl, Under the Sea, the Part of Your World, all of them, Poor and Fortunate Souls. It was done really well. The new Disney woke version won't be better in the 2020s. I can almost guarantee you that. Because they're just going to copy beat for beat everything they did in the animated film and do padding. That's all they have. Padding for freaking, 3 hours. Because it seems like these remakes just pad out the running time just to get their point across. It sucks that they do that. This was short and sweet. It was only an hour and 24 minutes. Went by quick. Love seeing the clips from the movie because I love the nostalgia from it. And it made me smile again. I hadn't seen that movie since I was really young. And, it's a great way to spend some time. If you have Disney Plus, you can watch it. Or if you have Optimum Cable or Files, they gave it on regular TV. So it's accessible to people without Disney Plus. It was on ABC. So they did a really good job. Critics were like, "Oh, this is so stupid. It's just pandering to the Disney crowd." Yeah, pandering to me, one of the biggest fans of this franchise. Jodie Benson opened the movie, the performance, and it was great to see her. She's still got a beautiful voice. She was at Comic-Con this year. My sister saw her, so yeah, she's still got it going on. And that was number 8. Number 7, like I said before, this guy was going to be on the list. Hey, Tevye, what's up? John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum. Need I say more? Okay, I will. This was badass. The first two movies were awesome. I enjoyed them. They would have been the first one would have been on my list in 2014 if I had seen it that year. The second one was a great surprise. Really frenetic fighting, a lot of blood, and R rated. See, you can't make a movie like that, a John Wick movie for kids. This movie was just as awesome. It was good to see Lawrence Fishburne back. Halle Berry had a cool scene. The scene with the dogs and John Wick just throwing things at people and shooting people. It's just badass. This is the kind of action movie I want to see. Not Woke Angels and Dark Fate and freaking Dark Phoenix. Nothing really going to be doing my Titans season 2 spoiler discussion. Yeah, you can talk about that because I haven't seen that Titans show yet. I know they're going to be in the Crisis on Infinite Earths. That I want to get to with you guys after December 8th. Well, like probably the 12th or something like that. Yeah, we'll schedule that. But anyway, John Wick Chapter 3 was freaking awesome, guys. I rented it at the library. I saw it at home. What a freaking awesome action movie. It is long. There's some padding. There's some characters that could have been cut out, but for what we got an awesome freaking movie. And it delivered on all fronts. And if there's a fourth one, do it well. This did better than the Taken sequels and the Expendable sequels and every other R-rated or PG-13 action franchise. And this made more money than Hobbs and Shaw domestically. At least I think so, anyway. But it is better than Hobbs and Shaw. It got a better critical reaction. It's not a stupid cartoon. It's not. It doesn't have a bunch of Brits in it. You know, Keanu Reeves is badass. Like everything he does, even when he's walking in the rain, I find that badass because it reminds me of the third Matrix movie when there's a scene in the rain. I haven't seen that movie, but I saw that scene, and I'm like, it's awesome. For some reason, Keanu Reeves looks cool when he walks through rain, and it's not a cartoon. The movie's dead serious. It has a lot of action. It's got a lot of blood. It's got a lot of body count. It has a huge body count, you know, and this plot was it's simple to follow. John Wick is trying to, get out of the spotlight and people have a bounty on him to kill him. Where's the deep philosophical thing about that? It's a simple action movie, simple but direct, and it works. That's why these movies are highly praised. My top 5 favorite films of the year. Yeah, it should be. It's number 7 because I wish I had seen this in theaters, but it came out right after Endgame, so I didn't get a chance to see it in theaters. I did see the second one though. These are definitely Keanu's magnum opus because after Matrix, the Matrix sequels were mixed at best. I didn't care for Constantine. I didn't care for. I like Point Break. That was the original, not the remake. Simple is better. Yes, it is. And this is a simple action movie, and it works. And it's not Liam Neeson doing his 15th Taken movie, taken on a plane, taken on a train, taken on a freaking in the Arctic. It's simple and to the point, and I love that. That's why it's in my top 10, and it deserves to be. Next is number 6. I'm gonna be really. If any of you guys are afraid of sexual content, I'm sorry. This is gonna have a little bit of it. Nothing too abrasive. The remake of Point Break sucked. Yeah, I know. It had nobodies doing the same thing and doing this freaking like X Games crap. So, and it was PG-13, which didn't help it. And coming out in December didn't help it either. But anyway, number 6 is a movie that got knocked out of the top 5 because I saw Frozen 2. We're getting to that. But she's still awesome. She's right behind me. You know who it is. Number 6 is Captain freaking Marvel. I need to say this about Brie Larson. You make me so horny. Oh, I love this freaking girl. I know I licked the TK. I don't care, guys. I love this actress. Give me her any day over the hobo. This is a powerful woman. This is a sexy woman. This is a woman that I would make my wife. This is a woman I want to meet at Comic-Con and say, you are so delicious. Ugh. I lose it every time I see her on screen. It's those big eyes. Yeah, give me this face any day. Sorry, nostalgia critic, that this woman didn't knock your socks off, but she did to me. Every scene that she's in this movie, I was just like, yeah, you are so badass. Oh, God, I want to lick your face. I know, I'm going to say it. Josh, hear me out, because I'm like, yeah, gorgeous blonde girl with a face that's American and French Canadian. That's a nice nod to, my friend, the other Josh Baker. Yeah, the Skrulls looked awesome. It was a nice twist that they were not the villains. Yes, it has weak characters in the side. In the side, I didn't care for Jude Law. He was underused. Jamon Hansu was underused. They were like diet versions of the characters in Guardians of the Galaxy. But there was a lot of good in it. Brie was awesome. Samuel Jackson was awesome. I didn't feel that feminist card that they were putting for this. Give me a break. This woman is gorgeous. The hobo gets all this praise. She can do everything, yet there's no explanation. With her, alien technology hits her, and that's how she starts glowing like a freaking Super Saiyan. Yeah, that's all the explanation you need. You don't need to know who her parents were. You don't need to know every freaking detail. If you want to know, read the comics, watch the cartoons. There's plenty of history of this character. The original Captain Marvel was a man. I know Marvel was a man. I get it. But this wasn't freaking the hobo with blonde hair in space. It was faster paced in The Force Awakens. I wasn't bored out of my mind like Rogue One. It wasn't The Last Jedi. This movie was not The Last Jedi, people. It wasn't. This wasn't 2 hours and 20 minutes. It was what? 2 hours and 4 minutes. Perfect. Short, to the point. And Brie is badass. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you people were so offended. Oh, that woman can't act. She's not pretty. She doesn't have a big booty like J-Lo. She won an Academy Award for acting. Yeah, an Academy Award. Best Actress, the movie Room. Look it up. This woman has more expression in all of her body than people like Kristen Stewart, Felicity Jones, and your precious freaking hobo. I'm going to bring it up because I don't care. Nothing in episode 9 could ever win me back. This, I want to see more Captain Marvel. I want to see more of this character. I want to see more Brie kicking ass. I want to see her as a Jedi one day. Her with a lightsaber, those Comic-Con pics, mwah, I love it. Because Brie is older than the hobo, and she's a real woman. A real woman. Real women can act. Real women can kick ass. Real women can show expression. Real women can do this. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm loving you right now. I almost had an orgasm in the theater, guys. I'm not kidding. The moment she went Super Saiyan and she gets that thing earpiece out of her ear, and she's like, I've been holding back all this time, and now I'm free. And I'm like, and that scene where she's like to Jude Law, she's like, I don't have to prove myself to you. I love that line. It's awesome. It's definitely one of the best superhero movies of this year. This reminded me of The Shadow of Tomb Raider. Captain Marvel and Lara Croft are awesome sex badass female characters. Yeah, I'm heterosexual. I'm a heterosexual male. And, oh, us men, we don't like to watch female-driven movies. They're sexist. The men don't want to see Charlie's Angels. We didn't want to see it because it sucked. And it had agenda strings all over it. And it was directed by a female. This was directed by 2 people, a man and a woman, and they did a great freaking job. It was Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck. They did a good job, and this is only the first time we're going to see Captain Marvel. We're going to see way more of her. Once you see episode 9, you'll never see your hobo again. Not in The Mandalorian or anything else. She's done. Finished. We're going to get a lot more of this freaking gorgeous cosmic cutie. More of her, please, please. I liked her cameo at the end in Endgame. I'm sorry. Hey, Elvis Presley USA. I know it's another Elvis, but yeah, I could care less about the haters. Screw the haters. They can suck it. This is a powerful woman that I would freaking do immediately. Immediately. And also, this has the best opening of any MCU movie I've seen when it comes to that nice nod. Thank you, Stan Lee. That was more respect than anything they could do in The Force Awakens. They gave credit to the man that created this whole Marvel universe before it was made into film. Stan freaking Lee. His cameo, rest in peace, man. You freaking rock. We miss you. You'll never be forgotten. Thank you for giving Brie Larson a chance. Thank you. Thank you for giving this to us. If we didn't have this, we would have 100 other hobos in sci-fi movies. Yeah. Do you hate Home Alone 3 and 4? Yes, I don't care for them. I saw 3 as a kid. I thought it was okay at first, but only the traps are good. 4 is horrible. But yeah, this woman is badass. I can't wait to see more of her. Oh my God. If I meet Brie Larson, I'm going to tell her, I'm going to just say, screw the haters. You are one of the most desirable women I've ever seen on film. Absolutely desirable. People that don't like her just don't know what a real woman is, or they just don't like women that are mixed of American and Canadian. And they also don't like women that can tone it down. She didn't have to be Black Widow, guys. She's different, and I like that. Her dry humor worked for me. Her smile worked for me. Unlike Dark Phoenix, yeah, fuck that movie. This did it better. It didn't hold back that it's a woman. It didn't hold back that Brie Larson can act. It didn't hold back her powers. It went full force, and she proved herself. And in the post-credit scene where they show Cap and Black Widow, and they show Hulk, and they show Bruce Banner, and they show not Hawkeye. What was it? Don Cheadle. They said they're trying to get the signal to try to contact Captain Marvel, and she just appeared. People were clapping. They weren't booing. They weren't giving the finger. They were clapping. She is over. That's right. Over with the fans. Just like Elsa in Frozen. And I'm going to get to that soon. But Captain Marvel made me smile. I left the theater. I almost jizzed my pants because I'm like, God, that woman is so desirable. And people gave her such a hard time. She said she hated white guys. It was misinterpreted. She means white crackers that are freaking pretentious, rich, and idiots, that are stupid, sexist pigs. Those are the white guys she didn't like. Not my friends on Facebook. Not me personally. I'm not even white. So I take no offense. I can't help it. I love a woman that just oozes femininity. And she never wears a dress. But believe me, I've seen her at the red carpet. This is a real woman, guys. And one of the nicest new additions to the franchise of the MCU. So come at me with your pitchforks and your torches and your hate crime. Do you like the movie It's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood by Tom Hanks? I haven't watched it yet, so that's not going to be on this list. Or The Irishman, or Cats, or others. But this movie surprised me. And I was going to defend Brie to the very end because, again, gorgeous freaking woman. Gorgeous cosmic cutie. And I want to see more of it. And I laughed a lot in this movie. Goose was an awesome freaking character. I'm not going to spoil too much. It's not a review, but Captain Marvel for the win all the way. Give me her any day. Put her all over my wall over the hobo. That's why she stands behind me, because she's freaking awesome. Powerful arms. One of the best Marvel characters we've seen now. Okay, now that I gushed about her, I'd spend like almost 20 minutes talking about her. What can I say? Brie is a freaking firecracker, man. The firecracker of cinema. Next is another pretty badass woman, and her name is Elsa, and her other sister is Anna, and my favorite character in the franchise is Olaf. This is my favorite animated movie of the year. It made me laugh a lot. The animation was beautiful to look at, stunning visuals, stunning colors and everything. And Disney, there's a reason this is making billions, and Your Precious Hobo is going to fail. It'll make money the first weekend, and then she's forgotten. And also, this is a long-awaited sequel we needed this year. Less Dark Phoenixes and Dark Fate and freaking other movies like that, and Secret Life of Pets 2. This is the kind of sequel we needed. Number 5 is Frozen 2. What can I say, guys? I love musical theater. I love the songs in this movie. I love the characters. I like the story. As convoluted as it was at times, it was still pretty amazing. I felt emotion in the songs. I got a lot of emotion from Idina Menzel's voice. Josh Gad is the new freaking, Robin Williams, because he made me laugh so much. He can really bring a lot to a character, especially this wonderful snowman. It was long awaited, and it worked. Elsa still as over as ever with little girls, and even with guys like me that love beautiful women that can sing. That's also a pretty turn on for me, because again, she can sing. What can I say? When a woman does it for me, I'm going to go see her work and clap and cheer and put her on my wall. I got a nice picture of Elsa right there from the first movie. One day I'll probably get a poster for the second one, because what a nice, beautiful animated Disney film. It beats the remakes that they did this year by a freaking landslide. Yeah. But anyway, that was Frozen 2. I loved it. I already did a review on it. You can check my channel. It was amazing. It was everything I could have imagined for a sequel, and it was just beautiful. It's a work of art, guys. Yeah, there could have been a villain, but I look at it as like Deadpool 2 or another sequel that's coming up on my list. It was a good Disney movie, and that's rare nowadays, where everything has to be a remake of something or just an unnecessary sequel or a long, boring freaking live action movie that we don't want. But this was awesome. And I love that kids are going to see this. See, keep seeing it, guys. I want this to make $1 billion just like that movie behind me. Yeah. That's another thing I forgot to mention about Captain Marvel. She's a failure and she made $1 billion for Disney. Yeah. Suck it, haters. You lose. Good day, sir. Anyway, Frozen 2 was awesome. I loved it. And I can't wait to get it on Blu-ray next year. Next is number 4. This was better than Captain Marvel only because it made me laugh a lot more. It's the funniest DC movie I've seen this year. I thought this is the original Captain Marvel, a man that doesn't have any ill will towards Brie Larson. Thank you very much for that, Zachary Levi. Number 4 is Shazam! Lightning with my hands. Lightning with my hands. This movie was freaking awesome. Hands. Lightning with my hands. Yeah. I love Shazam. It was great, guys. This movie was the best surprise of 2019. I did not believe that this was going to be as funny and as amusing and colorful. Oh my God, a DC movie with colors and jokes and a costume that's not bad CGI. Yeah, take that, Green Lantern. That's one thing you've messed up. Look at the crowd. It was a crowd pleaser, a surefire crowd pleaser. Yes, it was. The chemistry of this cast was amazing. Zachary Levi is the perfect Shazam. The kid that played Billy Batson was amazing. This isn't him. This is the kid that played Freddy, who stole a lot of the movie. He looks like a mix of Freddie Highmore and Andrew Garfield, but he can actually act. I love the YouTube videos, him dancing, the lightning with my hands thing, the jokes. This is basically a Deadpool for kids, but not for little kids because, you know, the 7 deadly sin creature things that kill those people in the office. And yeah, they're pretty scary for little kids, but wow, this movie was really good. And I bet Tevye was going to say, yeah, this is my favorite DC movie. Well, there's another one on the list that I thought was way better, but only because it didn't have a lot of CG. The fight at the end, awesome. That was the first moment in a DC movie I'm like, yep, that's their Marvel scene. That's their freaking Marvel scene that they didn't have in Wonder Woman or BVS or Suicide Squad or any of these other freaking movies. I love this. This is my favorite DCU movie so far. Of the 6 or 7 films that we got, I just thought this was freaking awesome. Like, everything they did in this movie just made sense. The Christmas theme worked. The freaking sets were nice. The fact that it didn't take itself too seriously. It did in the beginning, you know, with Billy's mother, that she lost him and that he had to live in a foster home, but it didn't make it depressing. They made the foster family was amazing. The kids were really good actors. The parents were really good in the film. And it has a lot of heart. Like, this movie has family issues, but also, as a fan of the Big Red Cheese, it was everything I ever wanted. I loved it. Yeah, if I had read the comics, the Adventures of Captain Marvel, I would have loved this movie even more because I'm like, it's a fun character. It's basically the Superman movie I didn't get in 2013 with Man of Steel. Yeah, same character, well, similar characters. They both can fly. They both have suits. They both have jet black hair, and they're like characters. To me, Superman is not brownie and a sociopath and destroys everything and it's uncaring. No, Shazam is everything that dark Superman was not. Henry Cavill. Sorry, Henry Cavill. I think he just blows you out of the water. It's getting a sequel. I can't freaking wait. I just laughed my ass off. Every time I watch this movie, I'm like, oh my God, this movie's making me smile. And in the theater, I laughed out loud. There were scenes that I was laughing so hard, a lot of people behind me couldn't hear the half of the jokes. Because the scene in the grocery store where he's like, go shoot him in the face. I love that. That's great. I just love talking about this movie. This was the biggest surprise of the year. I didn't think it was going to be awful, but the trailers looked like they could have been gone either way, but it went the right way. And it just made me smile. And the jokes were just spot on. And the tone was, you know, I love the Easter eggs of the kid wears like a Superman shirt and a Flash shirt and a Wonder Woman shirt. And he has the Batarang from Batman. That's awesome. It's nice fan service done in a respectable way without shoving it in your face. And just this surprised me. DC, keep making this, please. If this hadn't come out in April, it would have made $1 billion as well. But It gets a billion smiles from me because I laughed so much. The villain was kind of weak for me. Take notes, Justice League. Exactly. Put him in the Justice League sequel, please, or in just a crossover movie with Flash and with Wonder Woman and Aquaman. That alone could be a separate movie. It could be like that Lego Atlantis movie with Aquaman, or that Lego Flash movie from last year. Yeah, just to keep doing this, DC. I want Crisis to be like this. I want to be entertained. I want to have a lighter tone. I want to have things happening and the action sequences that I can see. They don't shake the camera. It's just really, really fun. It doesn't. It soaks in the fact that it's a superhero movie, and I love it for that. Just like I love Deadpool 2 last year and Deadpool 1 in 2016. So Shazam was awesome. I got it before Black Friday, by the way. That's why I didn't show it in my update. But yeah, that movie was freaking gold this year. It was the gold standard for what DC should do in the next decade. That would be really awesome to have Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and Shazam on the Justice League. And please, after seeing Shazam running in this movie really fast, please give us a good Flash movie. That's what I want. I want Ezra Miller or someone else, if they can't get him, give us a good Flash movie, please. The show has been going on too long, and I'm sick of Barry being sad. I want to see a good Flash movie. He can work. He's a very over character. He's very popular at Comic Con and all comic book conventions. Very, very colorful. I want to see a colorful Flash that runs, can joke, and can be serious at some moments. Take notes. This is what a Flash movie should be. The tone, especially. Does it have to be in a big city? No, it could be in a rural area, the suburbs, or just do it right. I want to see a good Flash movie. I love the Flash so much, and seeing this movie made me want it even more because he has a symbol of a thunderbolt, just like the Flash. So yeah, keep on doing the good work, DC. You really did a good job. I really enjoyed Aquaman. This was awesome, and the next movie is even more awesome. Number 3. I'll give you a hint. Smile, though your heart is aching. Smile, even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by. Number 3 is Joker. This movie was awesome. I disagree with freaking Cinematic Excrement saying that the movie's up its own ass. It deserves to be. We got a good Joker freaking origin movie. This is way better than The Killing Joke in every way. It doesn't waste time with 30 minutes of padding. It's not 2.5 hours. This movie looks amazing. Todd Phillips, I like him better than Scorsese. Come at me, fighters. Scorsese does good work, but his movies are too freaking long. Some of his movies. Irishman doesn't need to be 3 freaking hours to tell a good story. Joker was a great freaking story. I laughed. Joaquin Phoenix's performance just, oh my God. I was like, where did this come from? This is a man that was like barely in any movies in the 2010s. He did weird interviews on David Letterman, had a beard, and he was rapping, and he pulls this out of nowhere. I was like, what? You went from Gladiator doing and Reservation Road, and he did a voice of a bear in Brother Bear, and then he does Joker. He freaking nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. There's no denying why this movie made $1 billion. We care about the character. Gotham is dark and gritty, but it's not too depressing. The film was not as violent as I thought it was going to be, which is good because it didn't need to have like Joker cutting someone's head off or something like that. It's violent not for the sake of being violent. It is an R-rated movie, guys. And the fact that the movie was funny, it didn't need to be funny. It could have been dead serious, but it's a Joker. Of course he's going to have jokes. And the film looks great. It looks like a real freaking movie. Scorsese is just jealous because this movie's going to make more than Irishman. It costs less, and it's the biggest movie of the year for DC. That was really dark and violent and really scary. Yeah, there were some scenes in this movie that made me cringe. Like when Joker smashes that guy's head into the wall, I was like, damn, that's like a death scene from Drive, where he's like kicking a guy's head in. That was some serious freaking stuff, man. I was like, damn, they really did that in an R-rated DC movie. And it was practical blood. It wasn't CGI blood. The scene where he's painted as the Joker and he's like, you know what's wrong? All you people, you're the reason that this world sucks because you want to take the higher ups want to take advantage of us and overlook us. I'm like, no, but I'm not going to stand for this. And he's like, oh yeah. And then Robert De Niro, he's like, and Robert De Niro, you know what? Screw you. Bam. That was awesome, guys. I don't condone, senseless violence, but Joker has a point. I get his freaking thing. That death scene, nobody saw it coming. That he had the gun and he was like, blah, and then Robert De Niro was like, and I was like, whoa, man, they went for it. They just went for it. The whole ending when he's on the train with the mask, that's pretty creepy. And the scene where he's in the street and he's just dancing or he's lying on the car and he sees what he's caused. And yes, they did shoehorn in the Bruce Wayne's parents getting killed, but it fit. It was better than BVS. I can easily say that. And Joker just, he nailed it. Like him at the end where he's dancing and then the movie ends, I was like, that was freaking amazing, man. If this does not win Best Actor or at least Best Director, Best Picture, something, you Oscars can suck it because this is a Oscar-worthy performance from an actor that I had no interest in this actor. I didn't. I honestly, the last thing I saw him in was Reservation Road. But then I saw him in Two Lovers with Vanessa Shaw and Gwyneth Paltrow. Great performance. Here, he nailed it. Tom Hardy doing no, that's not a good performance in Venom. That's terrible. This ain't no Venom, guys. This is well written. This is a real story. These are real people with real freaking emotions and things going through. There's a lot in this movie I've related to. He has an old sick mother. I get that. Or, an adopted mother, psychological issues. I'm not crazy, but I have ADD, so I know what it's like to have a condition that makes you sometimes sporadically laugh or change your emotion. I get it. I get it, guys. When I painted my face, yeah, I'm not an incel. The movie didn't cause people to do riots in the theater like The Dark Knight Rises. That was the past. This is the present. And the future, hey, if you do a Joker 2, I'll go see it. Painted. And the thing is that, yeah, you don't have to be, this performance it was a work of art, guys. I'm getting this on Blu-ray in January. It comes out 2 days after my birthday. I'm getting it on Best Buy. Oh my God, this movie just surprised the hell out of me. This could have been like a Scorsese knockoff with done poorly, but it was not. And Cinematic Arts saying, oh, Joaquin Phoenix is good, but the material wasn't that great. I'm like, he took material that could have been nothing and he made it into something. Yeah, that's why this made $1 billion, guys. And this ain't no kids movie. And it was like a big budget version of the TV show Gotham, just with more blood, more curse words, a more grittier feel, and it didn't hold back. The scene with him and Bruce, him doing the smile, it all fit, man. And as a fan of clowns, this movie was like tailor-made for me. Sorry, Scorsese, you never done a movie with a clown, so do that before you pass away. Make a movie about a clown, or like Ringling Brothers, but with clowns. More focus on them instead of just the acrobats and the jugglers and all that, and the bearded ladies. Yeah, clowns are awesome this year. This year we had Joker and It Chapter 2, which also did pretty well. It didn't do as well as the first one, but people like clowns. Some are scared of them. I get it. But this movie was freaking awesome no matter what. And I really want to see this again. Damn, DC, you really nailed it. You went from Suicide Squad, which that was terrible. That was, I'm gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna hurt you. I forgot what it was. Really, really bad. Yeah, you were a really, really bad movie, Suicide Squad. This is a better representation of the Joker. He has more screen time. It's more about Arthur Fleck than Joker, but he just nailed it. Joaquin Phoenix wins over freaking Jared Leto any day this time. And it's the Joker movie I've been waiting for after 2 failed attempts with Suicide Squad and Killing Joke. I didn't hate it. When the Joker's on screen, it's awesome. The first 30 minutes could have been cut. But this was awesome. And if you have not seen it and you're of age, see this. Please see this. Go to the theater right now and go see it, or wait till it's on the DC streaming service, or get it on Blu-ray, get it digitally. Watch this movie. This is what a freaking DC movie should be, especially for adults. They can make stuff for kids like Shazam and Aquaman. They can also make dark and gritty like this movie. And I've been waiting for something like this for a while. Screw Birds of Prey. This is not going to be as good as this. Harley Quinn is annoying. She's not funny. She's just really annoying. This was a really intricate movie, and it really felt like I was watching a movie from the 70s, like what was it called? A Taxi Driver, or from the 80s, like King of Comedy. It's a mix of both of those movies, and it's not 3 hours long. Yeah, awesome. Joker was amazing. One word, and billions of dollars that they made. Good investment. Okay, now that I stopped gushing about the Joker, because I can go on for an hour about this, but next is the last two movies are comic book movies, guys. You shouldn't be surprised. Number 2, what a treat this was. After Avengers, I thought it couldn't get any better, but I was wrong. Number 2 is Spider-Man Far From Home. What a awesome freaking sequel. 2 years after Homecoming. There were some problems. Like I said, the villain wasn't as good as the first one, but I still like Jake Gyllenhaal's performance. There were some characters that kind of got underused, like Aunt May is not in as much. I wanted to see Miles Morales in the post-credit scene. We didn't get that, but what we got was a awesome freaking sequel, and it made me clap. I laughed a lot. The last act of the movie made me smile. And people were clapping just with Spidey doing whatever, because this character is over for a reason, guys. He's very popular. He's a colorful, white-collar boy that really gets things done. Tom Holland is awesome as Spider-Man. I think he is getting a little bit overexposed, being in like 10 animated movies and whatever, but in Spider-Man, I never had a problem with him. He's young, he's vibrant, he can act. He's a better Spider-Man and Peter Parker than Andrew Garfield. And he definitely captures the spirit of the cartoons and the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, too. And this movie could not have made me smile more, especially with the cameo at the end. And the big drop. If you haven't seen the movie, I know my family hasn't. Don't spoil that post-credit scene, the first one. It is one of the most shocking things I've seen in the MCU since the first Iron Man, because we didn't see it coming. And good God, the movie, it entertained me a lot. The Night Monkey scene, where he's in the black suit, that was cool. The scene where he gets hit with the train, the fight scenes with Mysterio, these visuals were absolutely amazing. And just, it was coming off after the heat of all the events of the blip. Yeah, I'm getting to that. What an awesome freaking movie. And, I had a smile on my face the whole time as soon as the movie started. And that end credit scene, nobody could have seen that coming. The second post-credit scene was okay with the scrolls, but, that's all I'm going to say about that. But, yeah, Spidey for the win. Other than Into the Spider-Verse, which I thought was really good. I just hated the CGI animated, flashy images at the end. This was pretty damn awesome for a Spider-Man sequel. The best Spider-Man sequel since Spider-Man 2. No doubt. I really agree with you. I love Spider-Man Far From Home. It's on par with the 90s cartoon, spectacular. Yeah. And there's a reason I love this character since I was a kid. I saw the 90s show a lot, and he's just a great character. The Spidey sensing and the webbing and the freaking costume and his quips and him being a light character, it worked. And Sony, don't you dare try to take him from us again. You got Venom. You keep him the hell away from the MCU. We don't need him there, unless it's a cameo. Because I'm talking like this, why would you do that? I don't need that in an MCU movie. I'm sorry. I'll take my Spidey over your abortion, your turn in the wind any day. Yeah, this is what it's all about, man. And yeah, it's definitely the best Marvel sequel in the second half of the year. One of my favorite summer movies. And now, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think is my favorite movie of this year? I'll give you a hint. It's not The Irishman, because I haven't seen it. It's not going to be episode 9, because I already gave up hope on that. This was the culmination of 11 freaking years of awesomeness. This was the culmination of every superhero movie that we've seen from Marvel, minus the X-Men movies and the Fantastic Four films. This brought it all together, and I could not have been happier. I know Josh has a problem with the first hour, but since I'm so invested, they could have been playing chess for 30 minutes and I would have been invested because I love this movie so much. You can tell by the look of my wall. Number one, my favorite movie of this year, the best sequel I've seen in this decade. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, a once in a lifetime cinematic achievement. This is a movie, I am not kidding. When the movie barely started, people were clapping. They were cheering. I screamed at the top of my lungs, let's do this. And people were laughing. Why? They knew my anticipation. This did everything right. The first hour was exactly what I was expecting. A dramatic, the Avengers are defeated, the Guardians have disappeared except for Rocket. They want to regroup. And then they're like, wait a minute, what if we could go back in time and stop Thanos from getting the stones? Brilliant. That's all you needed. The time travel thing worked here. It's not going to work in episode 9. It's just not, guys. I'm sorry. This was a freaking amazing movie. The final battle in this freaking movie is one of the most stunning things I've seen in the theater in over 30 years of life. This was just as amazing as the first movie's final battle that was 30 minutes long in New York City and the final battle from Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. All the Avengers, all the Guardians, all of the Wakandans, everybody in this freaking massive group against Thanos' army. I almost freaking lost it. You can see a video. I'm going to post a video later on Facebook because I don't want to get a copyright infringement from Disney. Everybody was cheering. Everybody was clapping. I was jumping out of my seat like a kangaroo. I loved every second of this freaking battle at the end. The Cap grabbing the freaking hammer and him doing like going Super Saiyan and fighting Thanos. That was freaking awesome to see in the theater. Seeing Spidey show up out of nowhere, people clapped in the theater. The hug with him and Tony Stark, people clapped in the theater. When they clapped, when Captain Marvel showed up the first time, applause. Nobody was booing. When she showed up at the end and said, "Hey, Peter Parker," I was like, "Oh my God!" Even with that lesbian haircut, I still want to kiss you, Brie Larson. The freaking the comedy, Scott Lang, when Ant-Man shows up, Paul Rudd really sold it. The women, when they have their moment, it wasn't SJWs in space where, no, we're going to take this moment away from the men. No, they had their powerhouse moment, and it was cool. It was visually stunning, seeing Valkyrie on the freaking horse and seeing Wasp and Captain Marvel and Black Widow. Well, Black Widow didn't show up, but we know why. But it was stunning, guys. It did not feel out of place. I loved it. Josh Brolin as the villain Thanos doesn't need to yell like a bitch like Kylo Ren to prove a point. He's so memorable. There's a reason why he's going to be remembered forever. A Force baby. Stupid. That sounds stupid. Give me that Yoda baby any day because it looks cute. At least in The Mandalorian. This, Robert Downey Jr. gives an Oscar-worthy performance. What can I say, guys? Every bit of emotion he shows in this movie, when he's up in space, he thinks he's going to die. The moment where he's like, he looks like he's in a wheelchair and he's like, we lost. And he looks like he's anorexic. Even Pepper's was a rescue was epic. Yeah, it was. And nobody was complaining about it. That movie didn't ruin that scene didn't ruin the movie. The little girl, I love you 3000. Awesome freaking line. The freaking Wakanda's going, Yibambe! And yeah, everything in this freaking movie worked for me. That's why Endgame is for the win. That's why it beat Avatar this year. Because it's better. A-Force is a team, but with female Avengers, and I love it. Yeah, exactly. If we're invested in the female characters, it doesn't matter what's between their legs. It matters what they can do. And like I said, Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. carry the movie. They really do, because they have a lot of screen time. And Cap's speech when they're going to go, they're like, we got one shot of this. Let's do it. Stay together. Watch each other's back. Go for it. Yeah, it's a great freaking speech, and it's not 3 hours long. It's just like the speech at the end of Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, where on this day we fight, and I'm like, that makes me feel so manly. Hell yeah. And yeah, just it broke my it just there were people crying at the end of this movie. Of course, we're so invested in the characters. When Robert Downey Jr. did this and he said, "I am Iron Man," and he snapped his fingers, I'm like, take a good look, Daisy. Really, once that happened, you're never going to be in another movie this big ever again. Honestly, yeah, that was freaking awesome. Like that snap, I'm like, oh, all this bad stuff from the 2010s is going to disappear completely. That Iron Man scene is badass, guys. I clapped really hard. When Thanos disappeared, people were clapping. Yeah, he could have had a better death scene, but in the comics, he had way better death scenes. And going back to scenes from other movies, they went back to the first Avengers and Guardians and Thor: The Dark World. They made that movie that was reviled by certain people better because Thor was fat, and that scene that made me that made me laugh hysterically in the theater, where Thor's fat and looks like a hobo and has a big beard and just he's like broken down. I'm like, yeah, but it made me laugh, and it wasn't forced humor. It lightened the mood with how dark the beginning of the movie was, and he didn't have to be trim to fight Thanos at the end. And Chris Hemsworth went for it. We aren't going to getting Daredevil. The rest I know because Marvel canceled all their Netflix shows because they're going on Disney Plus now. I guess I don't know, but they're doing their shows now. We got Hawkeye coming out soon, WandaVision, Loki, and some others. But yeah, this was the culmination of 11 years of hard work. The Russos put every bit of emotion out of every actor in this movie. Even the girl that played Scott Lang's daughter, that was not even the original actor. It was supposed to be the girl from 13 Reasons Why, and they got another actress at the last minute. She was great. The little girl that played Tony's daughter, you stay the hell away from her, haters. Leave her alone. She's a little girl. She was cute. She was amazing. The emotion that the fans had, I got it. I'm like, guys, I'm right there with you. I didn't cry, but I had a many mix of emotions in the theater. I was like, damn, that's heartfelt. Or I was clapping, I was cheering, I was yelling. I was like, oh, that's awesome. And the haters can suck it. This is 3 hours, but it didn't feel that way. I could have been in the theater for 4 hours. If I'm invested, I'm going to go see it all the way through. There was a guy that saw this movie in the theater over 100 times. I don't blame him. It's amazing. It gave me everything I could have wanted to end this decade. And considering the movies I sat through in this decade, that is saying a lot. And the Russos were the perfect, solution to Joss Whedon leaving the MCU. Again, guys, this is going to be the one to beat. Endgame will not be beaten by Episode 9. I'm going to say it right now. Oh, you're just butthurt because you didn't get what you wanted. You don't kill off characters from the original franchise to make room for your lackluster, freaking uncreative, uninspired rehash characters. That's why nobody went to go to Galaxy's Edge in Disney. That's why your freaking Solo movie flopped. That's why The Mandalorian is all you got. After that, you got nothing, guys. That's why the creators of Game of Thrones are not doing a trilogy. That's why Rian Johnson's trilogy is never going to happen. Yeah, it's all because we're tired of Star Wars. This, we are not tired of. We still want more MCU movies, and we're going to get it next year with Black Widow and freaking The Eternals. I hope that's good, because I don't know anything about The Eternals. But give me more of this. Make me laugh. Make me feel emotion. Make me cry in the theater for all I care. Just make me feel something. And just, this movie's Blu-ray is amazing, by the way. I saw the movie on Blu-ray, and I was like, wow, this movie looks freaking awesome. I got the digital copy, so don't worry. It's in good hands. I love this movie. 2 pieces. This is in my top 10 favorite movies of all freaking time. You have the original Star Wars trilogy, you got the first Avengers, and then you got this one. Yes. So it would probably be my 5th favorite movie of all freaking time. Every bit of emotion was real. I felt every bit of it. The action sequences, where they're there, they knock you right off your ass. The comedy was unbelievably funny. Like everything they did, the little touches. Yes, that's true. And the sad thing is, Last Jedi could have worked if they didn't kill off Luke Skywalker. Yeah, and kill off Snoke like a bitch in halfway through the movie, and made BB-8 into a freaking slot machine. And the stupid topical humor that they do better in these freaking movies. Take a moment, Ryan Johnson. If you're freaking, I'm going to say this right now. If Knives Out sucks, that's all on you. You can't blame Captain Kennedy this time. That's all on you. This is what you call funny. And the first Avengers, and Guardians, and freaking Thor Ragnarok. Comedy needs to, it's subjective, but you have to do it at the right moment. Putting a Yo Mama jokes or what was it? I'll put you on hold. That's not funny. That would have been funny in the 90s. It's not the 90s anymore. And guess what? We have moved on past mediocrity. This movie, in 1 week, it made $1 billion. So, Rise of Skywalker, you don't stand a chance. What rise? Tell me what's the rise, guys. Tell me in the comment section when this is uploaded to YouTube. Who's gonna rise? Luke's dead. Leia, Carrie Fisher's dead. Unfortunately, may she rest in peace. I miss you, Carrie. I love you so much. I wish you were here. Han's dead, and he wasn't even a Skywalker. Who's gonna be the rise? Kylo Ren. So whiny bitch that goes and he kills old guys. That's your rise right there. Lando's not even a freaking Skywalker, and if it's the hobo, I don't care about her. I want her die. I want her to die. Yeah, I want that character to die so much. Yep, characters is gone, which is sad. Exactly. You know how you're gonna see her in the movie? In stock footage. This had every actor from the original, from the 11 movies of history that are still with us. Even Stan Lee's cameo, may he rest in peace, was freaking awesome. In the 70s with Make Love, Not War. That was great. Thank you, Stan Lee, for staying alive for that long, giving us that. Captain Marvel showing up in this movie. They're like, she wasn't necessary. She could have beaten Thanos in 5 seconds, but they did it in a way where she wasn't overpowered. And they're going to set her up for the next phase. Whether you like it or not, haters. Because like I said before, yum, 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 yum. There, that pretty much sums it up. But yeah, this is my favorite movie of the year. I love Joker so much, but this is the theatrical experience that I had that I was like, I was just jumping for joy. Everything in this movie, even the dramatic parts, people were invested. They weren't going to the bathroom. They weren't freaking on their cell phones. They were invested. It's a phenomenal story. It's a 3-act structure. It doesn't have any disjointed, stupid things in it. That, yeah, there were some scenes that could have been cut out. That meeting where Cap is talking to those guys, that's fine, but it didn't bore me. It did not. I was never bored. If they wanted to kill off the original characters for the original, they've done it like heroes. Exactly. Not like pussbags. Han, how does he die? His son kills him through puts a lightsaber through him and he falls. Luke, how does he die? He fools Kylo Ren into thinking he's a ghost, that he's really there. It's like, I will not be the last Jedi. And he's like, ah! And it's like, wait, where did you go? And then Luke just disappears? Yeah, writers, take that, suck it. How does Tony Stark die? He takes the freaking Infinity Gauntlet, snaps his fingers, and Thanos' army is done. He went out in a blaze of glory. And they gave him a funeral. They did not do that for Han in The Force Awakens. I saw it in the theater, and I was depressed. So, Kenneth, when you see this video, don't give it a thumbs down because you disagree with me. There's a reason this movie, they acknowledge the deaths of characters. Even Spider-Man Far From Home did. And people were clapping out loud when they showed those pictures of Cap and Iron Man and Vision and all these other characters. Yeah, that's how you do it, guys. This is what you call the perfect freaking sequel. You take a masterpiece like the Avengers, the first Avengers, and you add to it. You add more heroes, and you add more badass moments, and you make it longer, and you really just go for it. That's why I love the movie to pieces. And this dumbass John, what was it? Not John, what was his name? That idiot from Politically Incorrect or whatever, that talk show host. Yeah, he's an idiot. He said that comic book movies are stupid. I'm like, yeah, you've never seen them. You've never been in one. So shut up. You know who you are. Not John Mayer. What was his name? He's an idiot, but I'll just I don't want to give him the time of day. This movie was awesome, and I could not have left the theater with a bigger smile on my face than when I saw this. And if you have not seen this movie, ignore the critics. Go for the 3 hours. You're not going to be disappointed. And here's the thing: if they do a fifth Avengers, it won't top this. But just keep doing fun movies like this. Make me feel some emotions. Give me a purpose. Don't stab me in the back and be like, you know what? The fans don't matter. Let's just make money. That's what Disney's was doing with freaking Star Wars. They didn't put the fans first. I forget. Yeah, I forgot about Rogue One already. It was painful. Everybody dies. Where's the joy in that? Bill Maher. Yeah, that stupid guy. He's the one you're talking about. Yeah, he can suck it. And Scorsese saying these movies are not art. This is a work of art. The performances are artists. The performers are artists. The freaking beautiful visuals. These amazing sets. These real places that they put. When they're in the field in the beginning, when Hawkeye's family disappears, that was a real set, guys. That farm was real. That wasn't CGI. That was really them on a farm. Him and Linda Cardellini and the kids. It's emotional. They just disappear out of the nowhere, and he's like, "Wait a minute, what happened?" And people were like, "Oh my god!" See, it's called investment. And we knew they would come back, but it came at a price. Scarlett Johansson, I'm still in love with her, and I'm going to get to watch her next year. So her death in this isn't the end. We're going to see her in Black Widow next year. So there's another chance to see her. And also, we're going to get to see Robert Downey Jr. again. Even though he's dead in this, he gets to do a cameo at the end of Black Widow. I'm so happy about that. We're not going to get Han back in The Force Awakens, after Force Awakens, because Harrison's done. Carrie Fisher's gone. Mark Hamill is going to be a Force ghost. What do you have to look forward to in 2 hours and 20 minutes of the end of the Skywalker saga? No, this is how you do an ending. Look, the word end is in the title. It's not the end of the MCU, though. There will be more phases and more heroes to readapt. Now that now that Disney has Fox, we're going to get a great X-Men movie with color. We're going to get possibly a Fantastic Four movie that actually is like the comics. And it makes me want to go back and watch the other Avengers movies and the other. Yeah, exactly. Once I get far from home, I'm going to buy the rest of the MCU movies and go watch them back to back to back because they make me happy. They're my fix. They're like a drug that just keeps on giving, but without the illegal ramifications. I get like so invested. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I lived to watch this. I'm stunned after watching all these movies. Even the lesser films like Thor, The Dark World, Iron Man 3, the second Guardians, which I love to death. They make me laugh. They have investment. They have a lot of good things in it. I wish Carrie, Mark Hamill were all back, and they weren't. You had Luke and Leia in Last Jedi, and then you had Han and Leia in one scene where hugging him, saying, "I'm going to go after our son," and then he dies, and he's never mentioned again. Again, how is episode 9 going to be better than this? It won't be. I guarantee it. This is a PG-13. It doesn't mean they pussified. They show blood. They show people dying. They show risks and stakes, high stakes. That movie's just going to be a 3-hour freaking light show with no substance. It's going to be like, we're going to make this the most epic Star Wars movie since Return of the Jedi or Revenge of the Sith. Good luck, because you're going to fail. Because J.J. Abrams can't direct for shit. I told you that. His best movie was called Mission Impossible 3. Because I can actually see what's going on, and I'm invested in Tom Cruise. Kerry Russell's probably going to die just like she did in Mission Impossible 3 in Rise of Skywalker as the female Rocketeer with bosoms. Sorry, missed opportunity. Yes, it is. And once episode 9 is gone, people will forget about it in 5 or 10 years. I'll remember this forever. I will. And I don't want to keep gushing and just saying, because I love that movie so much, guys. It made my freaking year. Thanks to that movie, I got through this year. all the bad weather, all of the freaking headaches, all of the bad cartoons and episodes of shows I've seen on the CW. It was all snapped away with just a flick, with just one snap of a finger. Thanks, Russo brothers, for doing this movie. I'll always be in debt to you guys. You made two great Captain America movies. You made two kick-ass Avengers movies that we'll remember forever. Infinity War 2. That movie was also a freaking masterpiece. I just didn't like the ending. And I keep saying this. I've said this for the past, I don't know, 6 years on YouTube. Nobody does it better than Marvel. Nobody. They just take source material and they make a freaking monster hit every single year that's critically acclaimed, and fans often really enjoy them, and I don't blame them for that. And I'm not a DC hater because, again, guys, I saw this and I loved it. I saw Joker and I loved it. I saw Aquaman in the earlier this year and I enjoyed it too. That gave me more of a Star Wars feel of the prequels and the originals over this freaking rise of my asshole, which nobody wants to see. And I'm taking this off because I'm tired. I've been doing a stream for over an hour. Wow. But yeah, I'm gushing about this movie because I love it so much. And it gave me everything I could ever want in an Avengers finale for these group of people. But anyway, guys, that's my list of my favorite movies of this year. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave your comments in the comment section. Don't be an asshole or I'll snap you away. But those are the films that gave me the most joy this year. The ones I liked as well, and the ones that that I'll never watch again. And to this I say, because before December comes in an hour and a half, Episode 9 will not be in my collection next year. I'm not going to see it on Disney Plus. Not getting it digitally. If they re-release it, I want nothing to do with it, guys. It's done. The check is in the mail. You can't fool the fans 4 times. With Marvel, they gave us more. They could have given us one good movie, and that would have been good enough. Because, like I said, nobody does it better. They always make my list because they know what they're doing. They make mistakes. Their Fox movies were hit and miss. The Sony produced stuff like Venom. That sucked. But that was Sony. That had nothing to do with Disney and Marvel. Awesome stream, man. Thanks, man. I do this for you guys. If not, I'd be just a dumbass on a camera just screaming at the screen. But I have passion, man. I love doing this. 6 years I've been on YouTube. I hope for my 7th is going to be awesome in the new decade. And, you know, I didn't hold back. I won't hold back next tomorrow when I do my podcast with my friends on the movies of 2020 that I'm looking forward to. And there are plenty of Marvel films and DC movies that I'm looking forward to. I'm only watching episode 9 to see how the trilogy ends, even though I know it's going to be a train wreck. Oh, God, it will be. Tavia, you know how I know that? You got the writers from Justice League and BVS. That movie's going to be, yeah, shorter, but characters are going to make stupid decisions. They're going to get more Rose Tico. Lando's probably going to barely be in the movie. You're going to have Bosom, freaking Rocketeer, probably die like an idiot, like Boba Fett did in Return of the Jedi, and your hobo's going to be shooting the Force out of her ass. What else is there to look forward to? Huh? The Emperor coming back? He died in Return of the Jedi, guys. That's not wiped off of the canon. That really happened. He's dead. There is no other story. You're shut up. Joker has a better laugh at the end of Batman 89. It's over, guys. Just accept it. See it. You enjoy it, fine. I'm not going to say you're an idiot. I blame Kathleen Kennedy and J.J. Abrams, Ruin Johnson as well. Because he did episode 8, and that was not well received by fans. It was very polarizing and divisive. Infinity War had a divisive ending, but at least it didn't kill off every character like Rogue One. And even the ones that survived, we were like, oh, we can't wait to kick Thanos' ass in the next movie. Who's gonna in episode 9, who's gonna be? On a side note, BVS and Justice League are gonna be better than episode 9. Yeah. Because at least Justice League was short and sweet, and it had the Flash finally doing something. BVS, Wonder Woman scene, Gal is gorgeous. I love her as Wonder Woman. Batman in that movie sold me. That one scene in the warehouse, the hobo couldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole or a 10-foot double-edged lightsaber. Oh, and by the way, Tevya, did you know that in this movie, in episode 9, they ripped off an episode of the freaking Teen Titans cartoon? That two lightsaber thing that the hobo has? That's from a Teen Titans episode. Look it up. It's from season 4. The freaking the episode where Control Freak has a lightsaber and it's two of them. You stole an idea from DC. Stop it, Lucasfilm. Just stop it. Come up with your own shit. Stop stealing from other people that are better than you. Wait, what did they do? They took the two lightsabers that the hobo has. That she has like two different lightsabers in the front. They stole that from a Teen Titans episode, the original Titans, not Teen Titans Go. Look it up. Season 4. Check a scene from it. Control Freak. There's a scene that they're making fun of Star Wars. It's called Clash of the Planets, and he has two lightsabers. They stole from that episode. How low can they go, man? Seriously. But anyway, oh yeah, now I remember. Interesting. Yeah, you stole from a freaking good something better from 15 years ago. But anyway, that's the end of my stream, guys. I'm done. My first StreamYard live stream for you guys. Batman can kick the crap out of Ray. It's a Kevin Conroy's birthday, and I'm planning to back in Arkham Asylum game right now. He's also going to be in Crisis, which is going to also be better than Episode 9, Cats, and Jumanji 3. I didn't forget about that. But anyway, guys, 2019 was a hell of a year. There were some disappointments, definitely. But when movies were good, they were really freaking good. You get freaking badass funny movies like this. You got a freaking awesome female lead that I actually care about and I'm attracted to. And you get a finale that surpassed my expectations. It didn't meet them. It surpassed them. And 2020, we're hoping for 10 more years of awesome movies. Better movies. No more reboots. No more freaking sequels that we don't need. No more remaking everything that we already was done better the first time. Give us more content that's good. But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care. John Avenger going out. I'll see you guys in December. See you later. Bye. End the broadcast. Yes.